Hey guys, welcome to my channel Linux King. My name is Salman Francis, and in this third part of our Practical Apache Admin series, we are going to take a look at very important topic, and which is Apache's configuration file. And in this section, we will talk about Apache's configuration file, and in CentOS, the configuration file of Apache is found in /etc/httpd/conf directory. Please remember that our focus is CentOS operating system, and it's not Debian or other Linux operating system. Therefore, we will keep our focus on CentOS operating system and the Apache configured on CentOS. So whenever you configure Apache, the configuration file is in etc/httpd/conf directory. Okay, and before we explore our configuration file of Apache, I would like to mention here very important thing, which is directive. Please try to understand it as good as possible, and I'll try to explain it in very simple manners. That directive means thing which directs or points direction or guide. Okay, and this word is very important since there are tons of directives in Apache configuration file, and these directives have arguments as well. So let's take a look at our Apache's configuration file. Okay, so Apache's configuration file, as I told you, it's an etc/httpd.conf directory, and if we use less httpd.conf, we will see that this is the Apache configuration file. Okay, and it contains the configuration directives. So if you remember, I told you that directive word is very important, and here it is. In the very second line, it tells you that it contains the directives, and these directives have arguments as well. So what is a directive actually? So if we go over here, we can see that this is a directive. Okay, server root is a directive, and it's telling you that the server root is in etc/httpd. So what does it mean? It means that the files for Apache reside in etc/httpd. Okay. Then we have one more directive, and it's called, let's say, listen. Not let's say, it's called listen. And the argument, you can see it's 80, and it means that listen on port 80. Okay, so let's go back to our slide. And this directive is instructing Apache server on which port or IP to listen, and also we can bind the IP with this port as well. Okay. And to list the directives, we use capital L flag. So let's try to run this command. httpd-l, let's say grep listen. And here it is, like, port was replaced with listen in Apache 2.0. So here's the directive, actually listen, which is this one. Okay, one important thing, guys, I would like to mention here. Please try to understand that I am also a student. Okay, I'm trying to learn, and I'm trying to teach you guys. So if you find any mistake in my presentation or in my videos, please do point them out. No one is perfect, so I might make some mistakes, and by pinpointing those mistakes, I would try to make future videos much better. Okay, so please take a note of this. Okay, let's move forward. Okay, now this is very important, document root. So what does document root means? The most important directive, document root. This is the directory out of which you will serve your documents. For example, web pages, and by default all requests are taken from this directory. So we can search it from configuration file with grep command. So let me show you first what is a document root. So if we let me use Vim, because it will show you in color. Vim httpd.conf. Okay, over here you can see that, yeah, one thing, this directive we will take a look in a couple of minutes. Okay, so one thing I would like to mention here, that the Apache server is running as a user. The user for this Apache server is Apache, and the group is Apache. So you can see here user/group, the name or number of the user group to run httpd as. It is usually good practice to create a dedicated user and group for running httpd as with most system services. So here we are running it by default as Apache, and Apache is the group. Okay, so server admin. This means that if something goes wrong with your server, where the server should send you the email, and by default it's root at localhost. So you can read this. It's very documented actually, Apache's configuration file. So server admin, your address where problem with the server should be emailed. Okay. Here's the document root. You can see the document root. So basically it's telling you the document root is var www.html. So this is the main directory where you will be serving your web pages from. Okay, so let me show you that. So if you remember, we created our index page. This is our first web page in our second video, I think. And so that's why I placed that index file in /var/www/html. So let's go back, and you can change the document root as per your choice, by the way. Okay, now let's go to, yeah, and by the way, you can always grep this thing like grep-i and mention what you want to grep, for example document root, and from etc httpd.conf/http. So -i means insensitive, like case insensitive. So okay, and document root over here you can see that it's /var/www/html. Okay, next, files.ht asterisk requires all deny. This directive, it's telling, like this thing is telling to deny everyone .ht access. So the above line prevents .ht access and .ht passwd. Anything which starts with .ht, it will be denied by the web client. Error log, the location of the error log file. That's very simple. So let's take a look again. I don't know why I'm writing full path. Okay. So actually these are some important things, or you can say the important part of the file I'm showing you. So the following line prevents .ht access and .ht password files from being viewed by the web client. Okay, so this we have already seen. Error log is the location of the error log, so where you will find the error logs, and here it is. You can change it as per your liking, but basically it's in logs/error logs. Okay, and this log is basically, let me show you where it is. Here it is. So these are the error logs. Okay, and if we use file error log, we can see it's ASCII text. Okay, we are back. Okay, next slide. If module. So if module, the directive will only work if a specific module is present. So anything inside this will only work if that module is present. For example, look at this in the config file, if module alias_module. This will work if we have the module, and to check if it's available, issue the command httpd-t/-d dump modules grep alias. So let's check this thing. But first let's go to our configuration file and let's check alias. So here it is. So this means that if alias underscore module is present, then this thing will work. Okay, so this is anything inside this will work. Here it's basically it's starting actually. So anything over here inside this will work. Let me just here. It will work if the alias module is present. So let's check with the command httpd -t-d dump underscore mod, and it's module, sorry, modules grep alias. So we can see that the alias underscore module is present, and thus that thing will work. So, and it's a shared module. Okay, and by the way, if you want to check the core modules for Apache, you can issue the command like small l httpd. It's not the capital L, it's a small one. So here are the compiled modules which were compiled when Apache was installed, and these are the, or you can see the core modules, and all other modules you can use this command httpd-d dump modules, and it will list all the modules like shared modules, static modules, and stuff like that. Okay, now include conf module. So this thing, what I was trying to show you earlier. So the include directive tells what external files can be used. Okay, or you can say that what external files we can use or call from this configuration file. So the include directive tells what external files can be used / include from within the Apache's main configuration file. If we go back to our Apache and here, so include conf.modules.d and everything which has the ending of .conf. So include everything. This is what it's trying to tell you, that include everything which is present in conf.modules.d directory and starts with anything but ends with .conf. So if I have a file with .abc which is ending with .abc, it will not be included. Doesn't matter if it's in this directory or not. However, if I have a file abc.conf, that would be included. Okay. So user Apache, group Apache, we have already explained that the above field tells Apache server to run as user Apache and group Apache. Note, you must run httpd as root initially and it will switch. So basically we need to be root in order to run Apache HTTP. The reason is it's listening on port less than 1024. Okay, server admin, I have already explained you. It's the address where you will receive the problems if you will face. Okay, so now we have this directory directive, you can say, and it's telling you to allow override none, requires all denied. So the above section, basically this is / it means the root. Okay, so the above section is denying access to server's root file system. This is basically allow override none and requires all denied. Allow override none means it's basically for the .htaccess file, and however it's telling that no one should be allowed to override the settings and everyone is denied to access this root directory or root file system. So there's a note, directives placed in the main configuration files apply to the entire server. This is very important. So if you put anything, let's go back here. So this is the main configuration file, okay? And if you create any directive over here, it will be implemented globally. However, if you want to use it for a specific part, if you want to change the configuration for only a part of the server, you can use your directives in /directory directory match, files, file match, locations, and location match sections. So these are the sections where you can use the directives for that particular thing. Okay, and we can test our configuration file with the following command. So if you want to check the configuration file, let's go to our configuration file. This is our configuration file. Okay, and at the moment I have not changed anything, if you know. So I have not changed anything, and if I would like to check if my configuration file is correct or not, I can use httpd.t option, and it will tell me that the syntax is okay or not. So if I change anything which is incorrect, let's say if I use the listen, let's say directive to listen, and if I use the Apache's configuration file checker, and you can see that it's telling us that syntax error on line 45. Okay, so if you find such syntax error, you can just go use vim httpd.conf :45, and it will take you to the line 45, or you can use set new, and it will be 45, and then you will use :45. Okay, and it will take you to the line with error. Delete it, save and exit, and this time if you run the command httpd-t, it will give you the syntax okay. Okay, perfect. So this is very small, like you can see a very short video about Apache's configuration file, but very important one. Let's go back and check if we missed something. So this basically directory index, it's telling to check the index.html file first. Okay, so let's say if you have two index files, index1.html and index2.html. So whichever index file you will put first, it will be read first. So it's like first come first served basis. So if you put here index2.html and then index1.html, it will read, Apache will read index2.html. Okay, then we are going for, so this is that portion or that part where you can use your own options, directives here within that specific, and it's not global actually, it's for specific, you can see that specific region. So this is something very important, and I hope you guys have a better understanding of Apache, and this include optional, so load config files in the etc http://conf.t. So we will see this when we will configure virtual hosts. We can use this conf.d directory. Let me show you that. This is the conf directory, and over here this is the conf.d, sorry about that. This is the conf.d directory, and if we go to this conf.d directory, so anything here, if it ends with .conf, that will be read by Apache as well. Okay, so now I hope that you guys have a better understanding of Apache's configuration file, and in our upcoming videos we will see some more videos about Apache, and we will see Apache in more action. Until then, goodbye, thank you. Please do subscribe to my YouTube channel, and God bless.